back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Got another collection update. I haven't done one of these in about a month, a little over a month, so I've accumulated some records and some CDs over that time, and I want to share with you all my great finds over the past month or so here. So I've got some pickups from thrift stores, record stores, and I do have one FYE trip in here. So we're going to start with the vinyl records. This one I found, I'm going to start with my Goodwill finds for vinyl. This one, Focus Moving Waves. I first discovered Focus. A friend of mine showed me a video. I don't even remember how we came across it, but it was their midnight special from 1973 on NBC, and they played the song Hocus Pocus, and it was like so weird and kind of funny, just the way that the singer has this yodeling vocal thing going on, but yet they were just totally jamming out, and it was it was different, but it was awesome. And so when I happened to find this, I thought it was definitely worth picking up. I do prefer the live version better because like they really up the tempo in that one, and it's like really cool, really fast. But the studio version, even though it's slowed down, is really cool as well. I listened to the rest of the A side on this. I didn't get the chance to listen to the B side yet. It's decent. I'll listen to it a few more times before I make ultimate judgment on it. I don't know if it's totally my thing, but definitely cool to pick up nonetheless. George Harrison, Cloud 9. Yeah, can't pass that up when you see it in a thrift store. Same with this one. I'm not a big Eagles fan, except for when it comes to football. Fly Eagles Fly. But again, for a Goodwill pickup, this was in pretty good shape. So, and it does have the Eagles songs on here that I do like "Take It Easy," "Already Gone," "Take It to the Limit." So it does have some of the Eagles songs I do like the most on it. So Eagles Greatest Hits, that was one that for a buck at Goodwill, figured why not. Alright, now I've got a couple here from the record store. He had a couple of AC/DC. I only had enough to get one because I have some others here that I wanted to get, but I chose this one over For Those About to Rock because between the two, I actually prefer this one to that album. So nice to have some AC/DC on vinyl. I do have Back in Black, which is the only up to this point was the only Brian Johnson one I had on vinyl. So flick of the switch makes a nice addition to the vinyl collection. Got this one here, Big Country Steel Town. I have never seen this one physically before. I do come across The Crossing in my travels every now and then. It's not something I come across often, but every now and then I do see The Crossing. But I've never seen Steel Town or The Seer or any other Big Country album for that matter. But I was really happy to find this one. I really want to get The Seer. I do prefer The Seer and The Crossing a little bit to this one, but this is still a pretty solid album too. Big Country's a good band. Alright, next up we have UFO, Lights Out. I never got that into UFO. From what I've heard, they sound good, they sound cool. I don't know why this just never really clicked with me, but there is one song of theirs I really love, and it's on here. It's called Just Another Suicide. So if it was any other UFO album, I'm not sure I would have bought it, but I bought this one in hopes that maybe the rest of this will leave an impression on me, because I would like to get more into them, but as of right now, Just Another Suicide is really the only song from them that has really ever stuck with me. So I'll have to play this at some point, and hopefully some other stuff will start jumping out at me. Because it seems like a lot of people that like UFO like a lot of other bands that I'm into, but for some reason I just haven't connected to UFO yet. Alright, I bought this one at Target just because I really wanted to get it on vinyl. The new Bon Jovi album, Forever. Still digging this one. Still really loving this album. Got to enjoy it on vinyl a couple times, and I think it sounds awesome on vinyl as well. You've got the cool little red vinyl on one side and splat on the other. I think I would have preferred it if the splat would have been like the whole way around, but still pretty neat. Got the lyrics here on the insert. So nothing too over the top, but I think for vinyl packaging, I like the vinyl packaging of this more than I like the CD packaging of it. But either way, this is still a really, really good album that anybody who likes what Bon Jovi's done since 2000, I would imagine would like this. But I know a lot of fans who jumped off the bandwagon after these days probably wouldn't like this one as much, but I really dig this one forever from Bon Jovi. The brand new one. Alright, this one, John Denver and the Muppets Christmas. I got this one for my wife. Got it at Goodwill, actually. I was flipping through some records there, and it was a bunch of Christmas records that you see at Goodwill all the time. Like the big band stuff, the Bing Crosby, Burl Ives, stuff that you can find anywhere. And then I happened to see this one, so I got it for her because she has this on CD, and she really likes it. And I will say, I do quite dig the version of 12 Days of Christmas with the Muppets, even though I prefer the one with the Disney characters like Mickey Mouse and Goofy and whatnot, and Donald Duck. That's my favorite version of 12 Days of Christmas, but the Muppet version is pretty cool as well. So pick this one up for her. Still a pretty neat find, I think. And this one we got at the record store. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a limited edition collector series from the launching of the Space Shuttle Columbia. And I guess it has it has a speech from President Reagan on here. I'm guessing it just has some radio traffic from when the space shuttle launched back in 1980. What year was it? 80. Is it on here? I forget what year this. I want to say like 82 or something like that. I could be off a few years, but yeah, it's a pretty cool pickup. And we looked this up on the internet, and it was like $100. So for $15, that's actually quite a nice deal there. So that's it for the vinyl. Now let's get into the CDs. Let's start with the one FYE purchase I made. It was the new Winger album 7. FYE continues to disappoint. Just like my trip to the FYE that is about an hour south of me, I went to one that's about an hour and a half southwest of where I'm from. It's the second closest FYE to me. And though their store is a little bit bigger and the selection was a little bit more, it was still disappointing compared to what it used to be. The heavy metal section was a joke. There's like next to nothing there. Pop rock section was still divided. It was still divided by band, which was nice because the other FYE just basically threw everything on the shelf like Walmart does. And but it didn't seem like they really had a whole lot. They did have this, obviously. I picked this one up, but this is the only thing I saw that really caught my eye. So Winger 7 definitely came home with me that day. Alright, so next up, let's go with the first Goodwill pile here. So, got a bunch of CDs at Goodwill. This is my first of 2 Goodwill hauls here. Dave Matthews, Busted Stuff. I feel like I keep showing Dave Matthews Band CDs on these things. I'm like not that big of a fan, but I like enough songs where like I'm kind of getting some of these albums. Like this one has Gray Street and Where Are You Going, 2 songs that I really like. The rest of it, I don't really remember that much, but you never know. I thought it was worth $2 to at least have the 2 songs that I enjoy. See another one here, Snow Patrol, Eyes Open. I pretty much know them for Chasing Cars, but I wanted to give the rest of this a chance because I don't know much about Snow Patrol other than that one song. Alright, we've got Heart, Bad Animals. This is the second Heart CD that I have. The other one is Brigade. I do have a couple Heart vinyls. I have Dreamboat Annie and Magazine and Little Queen all on vinyl. And then I'm like missing a bunch from the late 70s and early 80s, and then I've picked up 2 CDs from the late 80s here, but some good stuff on here. Who You Run To is a good song. There's a Girl I do kind of like, so some good stuff. I'll have to play this again because I don't really remember all of it, but Bad Animals from Heart, another Goodwill pickup. Europe, The Final Countdown. I don't know a whole lot about Europe. Um, I know that this is their most known album. I also know that it's probably not their most popular amongst the fans. I picked it up more or less just because, I mean, you don't find CDs like this at Goodwill all the time, so I figured the price was right for this one. But honestly, I'm not a big fan of it. So, won't stop me from checking out more Europe elsewhere, but this particular album, not that into it. So my two favorite pickups from this particular trip here, Trickster, their first album, and somebody that I watch, I don't remember who it was, but somebody that I watch on YouTube was just talking about this album right before I happened to stumble upon it at Goodwill, so it was fresh in my memory, and I was really excited to find it, and this is a really, really good album. A lot of good songs on here. Line of Fire is really good. 1 in a Million is really good. Give It To Me Good. I like the whole album, but there's one toward the end that I really liked. I can't remember which one it was. I want to say Ride the Whip. Good album, really solid, Trickster. And the other one that I was really excited to find at Goodwill was Whitesnake, Slide It In. Never been the biggest Whitesnake fan in the world, but Slide It In has always been my favorite song from Whitesnake. Plus, I kind of forgot about Slow and Easy. I used to hear that on the radio all the time. That's a good song. I didn't recognize it by title, so I didn't realize that was the second song on here, but when it started playing, I was kind of excited to have it, so pretty good stuff. I got another Whitesnake album we'll talk about here in a little bit, but I think this one is definitely the better of the two. At least I definitely enjoyed this one better, so Whitesnake's Slide It In. Another one that I was pretty happy to find at Goodwill. So I guess let's go with Goodwill Pile B here while we're at it. This one I just got like 2 days ago, I think. Got The Kids Are All Right from The Who. Led Zeppelin's Presence. There were a couple that I had to let go, and Coda was one of them. I kind of prioritized getting Presence over Coda. They're the only two Zeppelin CDs that I don't have. I do have Coda. I believe I have Coda on cassette. I know I have Presence on cassette, but as far as the CD goes, those are the only two that I'm missing. I prioritized this one, and unfortunately, when I went back on payday to get Coda, it wasn't there anymore. So Presence, I at least was able to get. Next up, we have a little bit of Soundgarden down on the upside. Considering I just found Super Unknown not too long ago at Goodwill, I was pretty pumped to find Down on the Upside come through as well. So another Soundgarden album added to the collection. Next up here we have Alter Bridge and their first album. I'm going to say something really unpopular here, but I prefer Creed to Alter Bridge. Well, I like them both, but and I'm going to say something else really unpopular. The reason that I like Creed better than Alter Bridge is because I like Scott Stapp better than I like Myles Kennedy. Both are good singers. You know, I know Scott Stapp has had his issues. Lots of people have, but straight up singing, I kind of dig Scott Stapp's voice a little bit better. He's like the clean Eddie Vedder. Like, he sounds a lot like Eddie Vedder, but he doesn't mumble. So, and I think his lyrics are generally pretty good. So, I know I'm throwing a whole bunch of hot takes at you there, but I'll tell you what though, if I can find an Alter Bridge album, because I've not heard them all, if I can find one that I like as much as Weathered from Creed, I might revisit that opinion. But until then, Weathered is like one of my favorite albums of this particular genre. So, till then, I have to take Creed over Alter Bridge, but still cool to find an Alter Bridge CD at Goodwill. And last but not least, here we've got Pearl Jam's Lightning Bolt. This is like in immaculate condition. Just almost looks like it's brand spanking new. And I was pumped to get this and see this come through at Goodwill, because this is just almost like it's brand new, and it plays great. And it was one of two Pearl Jam albums that I don't have, the other being Gigaton, and it has this really awesome digipack packaging that Dark Matter had. I'm gonna assume that Gigaton has it too, but I don't know. This is definitely the way to do a digipack, in my opinion. This is definitely my favorite style of digipack. It's got a nice hardcover, nice book. The only thing I wish is maybe that we would have had that a little plastic thing to pop the CD into right here instead of the little paper sleeve. I'm not a fan of that, but otherwise, if you're gonna give me a digipack, I'll take one like this any day over those little flimsy ones that a lot of other bands seem to do. So, and this is a good album too, I gotta say. I mean, I've listened to this before streaming it, but being able to absorb this album on CD, it definitely hits a little bit differently. I still like the first 5 songs a lot. I think what gives this album a hiccup to me is that my 2 least favorite songs are Together, right in the middle of it, Infallible and Pendulum. Because after that, I kind of forgot how good Swallowed Whole was. But I like that song. Let the Record Play is really good as well. Sleeping by Myself, I kind of forgot how much I liked, and same with Future Days. It's another one of those kind of slow Pearl Jam tracks to close out albums, but it's great. So, Lightning Bolt, pretty good album. Just like Riot Act, it's kind of grown on me now that I have it. Now that I have a physical copy, it's kind of grown on me, and I appreciate it more than I did when I was just streaming it. Alright, so here, a couple of random thrift store pickups. These are not Goodwill, just some other random thrift stores I've been to. Dave Matthews Band, Big Whiskey and the Grux King. Such a weird album title, but then again, Dave Matthews Band is kind of a weird band, so I really dig the songs. Funny the Way It Is and Why I Am is 2 of my favorite later day DMB songs, so for that reason I picked it up. Plus it was half off, so I got it for $1.50 at this particular thrift store. So there I am, more Dave Matthews. Just a day after I made that video about Pennsylvania bands, which I didn't have this album at the time when I was talking about them, but the very next day for 50 cents I found Lives Throwing Copper. And at the same thrift store I also got Matchbox 20 for 50 cents. Not the biggest Matchbox 20 fan in the world, but I do generally like their hits, like Real World, Long Day, 3 a.m., Girl Like That. Damn's pretty good. The back part of this album I never been a real big fan of, but for at least that first half I thought 50 cents is worth getting all those tracks that I like. And last but not least, from the thrift stores, we have Traveling Wilburys. So, pretty interesting finds there. Now, a couple of record store pickups for CDs. Here's that other Whitesnake album I was talking about, Slip of the Tongue. Like I said, I've never was that into Whitesnake. I do have the 87 album on vinyl, which is a pretty good album, obviously. And this one does nothing for me. I played it. Musicianship's great. I mean, the musicianship is top notch on this album. Great guitar work, great drumming. Coverdale sounds great. The songs just don't do anything for me. So, of the 3 Whitesnake albums that I have, 87 and Slide It In, and this one, I definitely like the other 2 better, and I definitely like Slide It In better than this one. But still, it was worth taking a chance, I thought, since I happened to find the other one at a thrift store. White Lion's Main Attraction. Finally added this one to the collection. I bought Pride and Big Game a while ago. This one's pretty good too. There's a song on here though that really jumped out at me, and it's War Song. War Song's really, really good. It's a good album all the way through, but War Song was the song that really jumped off the record at me. Really heavy. Alright, to go along with Pornography and 3 Sides to Every Story, got the first Extreme album. I don't like this one quite as much as those next 2, but strong start for Extreme here. Gary Sharon sounds great, and of course Nuno is fantastic. There just aren't too many songs that really jump out at me. Though it was a pretty good listen from start to finish, it didn't really have any individual song that I kept going back to, like I do with the other two Extreme albums that I have. And last but not least, here we've got Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinkin' Rich from Warrant, their first album, to go along with Dog Eat Dog. I'm still trying to track down Cherry Pie and Ultraphobic. But this one's really, really solid. 32 Pennies, Down Boys, Big Talk, Sometimes She Cries, So Damn Pretty, Should Be Against the Law, the RFSR, and the Sticks is really good. Heaven, Riding High, Cold Sweat, solid album. Probably don't like it quite as much as Dog Eat Dog, but really good. And I'll even say, I don't know if this is unpopular to say or not, but I think this album is probably more solid than Cherry Pie is. Though I like Uncle Tom's Cabin more than anything on here because it's my favorite Warrant song. But I think just from top to bottom, this one's a little bit more solid than Cherry Pie is. So good stuff. In the comments below, if you have any thoughts or comments on any of these albums that I've picked up recently, let me know what you think of them. Let me know what some of your most recent pickups are. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you next time.